Welcome back to Time with Steel Garage. This time we finish the brakes and the suspension on this girl and hopefully get her back on her wheels. Stay tuned. Alright, the first step is front brakes, all Wilwood. These are two-piece style hats. So for those of you who watched me on the DeLorean build, it's the same kind of thing, which means I need to safety wire, and a whole bunch of the guys I work with are probably going to make fun of my safeties and come out here and redo them anyway. But that's the next step. Stay tuned. Hello, Carl.
What's up?
Okay, I'm just want to show you some stuff with the brakes here. So this kit is pretty awesome. Now remember, this car is using 94 and up spindles. These rotors are massive. They're nice. Spec 37. This is a full kit from Wilwood, but if you want to buy the part numbers separately, these discs are 160-7173-BK. The hardware pack is 230-4572, and then the hat for the two-piece hat is 170-6223. Now, something that's probably common sense to most of you, but I'm going to do it anyhow. Inevitably, when you're torquing bolts, somebody distracts you or you forget which bolt you torqued. So every time I do this, I just take a red marker and I torque the bolt, put a stripe on it. If it's a three-step torque, you can do 3 marks, you know, that kind of thing. But believe me, if you don't mark them, eventually you're gonna forget one. Now, Wilwood calls for these brake discs to be Loctited and may use safety wire, but they really should probably change may to should or will. You aviation nerds know what I'm talking about. But all right, I'm gonna keep doing this. We'll be back. Okay, Carl's got the brakes on. While I was safety wiring the discs, he was assembling them. So I did one disc, he put that side together. I did the other disc, he put that side together, kind of thing. Safety wiring, I'm not the guy to teach you how to safety, but if you don't know how and you don't feel like learning how, just get yourself a case of beer, go to your local general aviation airport, find the mechanic, give him a case of beer and ask him to safety your rotors for you. He'll probably do it, and half the time it'll be twice as good. So, but these brakes are pretty sexy here. They are directional. Big 6-pot calipers, comes with shims. It's a nice setup here. The part number, if you're a Fox body guy that's converted to 94 and up spindles, is 140-9107-DR, and that's the whole kit to do the whole front. So we had to reorder the rear kit because so if you have a Fox body and you're converting to the 94 and up brakes, the Wilwood 94 and up brake kit will not work on a Fox body axle. They say it does not. LMR confirmed that for us. A lot of people have had that problem, so much so that LMR has put a note on their page saying basically not to order the 94 and up rear kit for a Fox body axle. So we actually have a better kit coming. Wilwood does make a kit specifically for the Fox body rear end that comes with 4-pot calipers. It's actually a better disc conversion than the 94 and up rear, because the 94 and up rear is only a single pot caliper. And then also the parking brake cables are specific to the Fox body rear Mustang kit. So you got to get the Wilwood Fox rear kit and their parking brake cables to replace the factory parking brake cables. And as far as where we're at here, I think we're going to start setting the front ride height and get the front wheels on the car. And that's pretty much our goal for today. The parts for the rear are supposed to show up tomorrow, so stay tuned. Okay, UPS guy showed up, got brake lines installed on the front. and we just measured the rack. I've got it about a 1/4 inch toe in right now until we get the car on its wheels, and then we'll judge it again. But we need to get the wheels on the car so we can make sure that the limiters, that little plastic limiter where my pinky is, we have the right stack in there so that the wheels don't hit anything on the inside. What's up? And Carl's torquing the back. Carl, we got a list to cross off here. Here, you cross off the list. It's your list. Hold on. Kmember? Done. Spindles? Done. Coilovers? Control arms? Shocks? All of the suspensions. Steering, I'd say, I think we're done. The only thing we got to do with the rack is check limiting space, but I think we're good enough to cross that out. Yeah. This vent tube that's taped to the fridge so we don't forget about it. Can't do nothing with the rear diff till we get the brakes. 50%. You can write 50% next to it. Half line. All right, making progress. Well, top of the morning to you. Waiting on the old UPS guy for parts. So I got myself a nice cold treat here, doing what I like to do best. Sit and wait on the UPS guy for parts. Not really. And Carl's putting new power steering lines in because we just felt bad using the old ones with all that fancy new stuff. Plus they were cracked and dry rotted. But sitting here waiting for the parts. Hopefully when that guy shows up, we'll get the back end of the car assembled, and by the end of the day this thing will be sitting on all 4 wheels. Until then, ice cold beverages. Okay, FedEx UPS showed up. We got the new Wilwood kit that works for the Fox Body 8.8 rear axle. Carl's got the parking brake drum caliper adapter bracket thingamajigger on. What's the part number for this kit, Carl?
I know.
Okay, this is the correct kit LMR has assured us for the rear. And that is a 140-11396-D.
And if you order it from Wilwood, they got a color chart. You can pick whatever stupid color you want. Fortunately, LMR only had black, so beggars can't be choosy.
Yeah. So basically, you have to have the axles out to put this in. Once this is in, then you can slide the axles in. So we're about to put the axles in, and then we'll catch back up. Okay, obviously the easiest way to put lug nuts in is with a wheel studs in is with a hydraulic press, but I just want to show you guys, in case you've never seen it, a tool like this called a wheel stud installer. So if you got to change a stud with the axle in the car, these work great. This is a Lyle 22800, and I'm just going to show you. You just take the new stud, put it behind the axle, take the wheel stud tool, put it on here. I put a little lube inside that tool. Take a wheel lug nut, put it on there, and then you just get yourself an impact, and it'll pull the stud in. Watch. I'll show you guys from behind so you can see. Anyway, you get the idea. You can see on the back here, it pulls that stud in. I got a little bit ways to go, and then that one will be done. Over here, we already got the axle in. You just gotta lube up the end of the axle, slide it in gently so you don't mess up the seal. Make sure you got the seal lubed and some gear oil and a new bearing, but it goes right in. Carl's mocking up the rest of the brake kit. Looks like it uses a spacer hub-centric ring on the axle to center the disc, because this kit's made for multiple cars. So, okay, Carl and I just got the axles in, the Moser 5 lug conversion. A couple of pointers: if your diff spins on you to where your spider gears are not lined up for you to get the pin in, What we figured out was one guy holds one axle while the other guy rotates the other axle, and it'll spin your spider gears back lined up to where you need them to be. Remember, once the axles are in, you push them all the way in, insert your C-clips, then you drive your center bolt in. My brain's not working. Your diff pin. On this Fox body, there's a wider flat and a skinnier flat. The wider flat goes towards the bolt. And then on this diff housing, there's only one side that has a bolt hole, so you really can't screw it up. And that's it. Now we just got to put a new gasket on and a new rear diff cover, which he's got some nice parts over here. ARP bolts, new gasket, and I think this is a Ford Performance, Ford Racing serviceable diff cover. All right, once again, the bolt-on parts don't bolt on. These are replacement factory studs. The wilwood discs were not the correct bolt diameter hole to clear the shank on the back of the stud, so I had to taper the discs to fit on the new Moser axles. That was the only thing that we ran into. Other than that, this rear disc setup is really nice. So it's got a full inner parking brake that uses drums on both sides of the disc. And it has its own separate parking brake cable that I've yet to install, so I can't comment on that. Super nice piece by Ford Racing. Uses magnetic supports that you actually thread into the bearing on each side of the diff. Torque to 5 to 10 foot-pounds, I believe it was. And it provides support on the bearings and magnets to catch chips. And then all these bolts, the girdle bolts here, are all bolted to 20 to 25 foot-pounds. You got to remember to use your little thing of Ford Limited Slip additive. And then I believe total capacity is 3 quarts. We put 2 quarts in for now. So the rear diff is good to go. We did, however, Wilwood for the second time now, or whoever the hell he gets his parts from, has sent us the wrong rear brake lines. So I'm now waiting on a new master cylinder. 3rd time's the charm for rear brake lines and a new brake booster. But tonight the wheels are going on this car, and for the first time in a week or so, she'll be sitting on all 4 wheels again. All right, Carl, update the list.
All right, axles, the studs, check. Rear diff cover.
And service.
And service, check. So axles, fuck you, gone. Disc brakes, done. Parking brake, oh, not cables. Grounds though, that thing, so let me just...
You need to add a new list now. Rear brake lines and parking brake cables.
Cables and lines, there we go.
Drink more beer.
Drink beer.
Hello, Stuart. Say hi.
Hi.
Stuart's in here with...
He gets a few.
He's lifting his 4Runner. I don't know if it's his or his wife's. I don't know. He's lifting it. We got quite the contrast here. Mustang and a 4Runner. Well, we got all the brakes on. The rear diff is fully assembled and serviced. But we need rear brake lines, we need a master cylinder, we need a booster. So it will sit on all 4 wheels now. And that's going to be it for this episode. Say bye-bye, Carl.
See ya.
We'll see you next time. Hopefully next time, change the clutch, finish the brakes, and set ride height, and this thing is out of here. So stay tuned. We'll see you for episode 4.